It's Christmas time at Tantrum House, and my gift to you is this video about the board games launching on Kickstarter the first half of January 2018. On January 1st, we'll see Lords of the Mottlyverse by Robot World Toys. It's a fast-paced miniatures and dice game in which each player controls a squad of unique characters fighting for supremacy over treacherous battlefields. The game has a combat system built around rolling dice, creating dice sequences, and utilizing tactical movements to control the board. Kung Pao Chicken from Sunrise Tornado Game Studios is coming to Kickstarter on January 2nd. It's a 3 to 5 player, 15-minute social deduction party game. Each game is played in 3 rounds. In every round, each player needs to figure out if he or she is the chicken or a fox. At the end of the round, players will score a point for guessing their identity correctly and additional points for the team objective. If you are a chicken, your team of chickens will score based on the number of saved chickens. Foxes will score based on the number of captured chickens. I believe Mirrorbox Games will be bringing an expansion to Chaosmos on January 2nd. On January 2nd, we'll see Growl for 4 to 7 players. One player starts off as Wolf Zero, trying to turn the other players into werewolves. The humans are trying to stay alive until the end of the game. Thundergriff Games will bring Spirits of the Forest on January 2nd. Players represent the 4 elements that nourish the forces of nature. Up to 4 players compete to acquire the most spirit symbols, as they score nature points for having the majority of each spirit. The winner is the player with the most nature points at the end of the game. And we'll also see Scarlet Pimpernel on January 2nd from Eagle Griffin Games. In Scarlet Pimpernel, it's a worker placement game. You play as members of the League, helping the Scarlet Pimpernel accomplish 7 missions, rescuing the innocent from the guillotine. No mission will be as important as the last, for you have to save the young Dauphin, heir to the French throne, by whisking him away to Vienna. On January 6th, Dark Flight is bringing 3 games to one campaign: Tokyo Metro, Tokyo Jutaku, and Tokyo Jinon Hanbaiki. In Tokyo Metro, players take on the role of private investors looking to build up stations across Tokyo, speculate on train lines in a shared network to benefit multiple parties. The core of the game is built around worker placement. Tokyo Jutaku is a real-time dexterity game. Players build with geometric pieces to stack up to certain building requirements. Jinon Hanbaiki is a game about Japanese vending machines and drinks with multiple 5 to 10 minute games inside. The core of the gameplay centers around a vending machine drink tower, which miniature drinks are dropped inside of. Some of the drinks will come out again, and others won't. This one integrates with both Tokyo Metro and Tokyo Jutaku. During the second week of January, we'll see Knights of Fire from Mighty Boards. It combines card and action management mechanisms with the theme and feel of a classic block war game. Players can experience the rush of a true no-win scenario and see how long they can keep the flame of the revolution going under the pressure of the unstoppable march of the Soviet military machine. Colossal Games will bring Western Legends on January 9th to Kickstarter. Players will traverse the Wild West as one of the historical figures of the time, playing poker, robbing banks, and avoiding the sheriff to score legend points. The open-world sandbox environment allows players to shape the landscape through their decisions and become fully immersed in the landscape of the American West. And listen to our Tantrum House Board Gaming podcast on iTunes or Google Play to hear an interview with Colossal Games in January. For fans of John Carter of Mars, we'll see an RPG from Odysseus Entertainment. The Kickstarter will have 3 different phases to it, following the storyline of John Carter, Dotar Sojat in Phase 1, the Prince of Helium period in Phase 2, and Phase 3 will see Jeddak of the Jeddak. Asteria Games brings Deja Vu Fragments of Memory on January 9th. Players help the nameless girl collect her scattered memories across the universe. The color of the sunset, the curve of a crescent moon, twinkling of distant stars, the sound of lightning, the weight of raindrops, or any tiniest impressions, and bring them together into a coherent mental picture in her mind. On January 9th, we'll also see Hermetica. It's an abstract strategy game where players must use tactical movement with 4 unique units to outwit their opponent. It's for 2 players from IF Studios. On January 10th, IDW Publishing will kickstart Mask of the Red Death. Based on Edgar Allan Poe's sinister story, Mask of the Red Death pits you and up to 6 of your friends against each other as you hobnob with the prince. But disaster strikes at midnight. You must balance your actions carefully between currying the prince's favor and discovering which rooms the Red Death will visit. After all, having the highest social standing matters only if you survive. On January 10th, Sierra Madre Games will launch one campaign for both Greenland, which is the 3rd edition, and Neanderthal, which is 2nd edition. In Greenland, it will introduce a 4th player, custom meeples for each tribe, new domestic animals and daughters, upgraded art, and new player aids. Neanderthal will contain custom meeples for each tribe, upgraded art, new player aids. I believe on January 10th, Supernatural Socks will also launch. It's a game about losing socks in the dryer. Players compete to score socks while utilizing sock ghosts to protect themselves or sabotage their opponents. Calliope Games will launch Mansky Caper on January 11th. Players team up to ransack rooms of Al Mansky's mansion, opening safes to find the valuables inside. Split loop with others in the room and watch out for twists of fortune and dangerous traps that can ruin your plans with a bang. The winner is a player who has accumulated the most loot in their private stash at the getaway car by the time Al's mansion is completely ransacked. We'll see a Deluxeified Gentees launch on January 12th. You'll play as ancient people attempting to develop your culture and society by building monuments and colonizing or founding new cities in the Mediterranean Sea. It's for 2 to 4 players. One Day West Games will launch Monster Highway on January 15th. After a nuclear meltdown, an alligator transforms into a road-smashing, car-crushing monster. Monster Highway is a board game where 2 to 4 players are building roadways using tiles to get to your home base. Be the first to build your roadway and drive your car from ground zero to your home base to win the game. Beware of the monster and of your opponents. No one is safe on Monster Highway. So we're going to try something a little different at the end of each video in 2018. We're going to share some of the games that we find interesting. One of them is Spears of the Forest by Thundergriff Games, and another one is Western Legends by Colossal Games.
Now, I love literature and books, so I was most intrigued by The Scarlet Pimpernel by Eagle Griffin, and then The Mask of the Red Death by IDW.
Well, thanks so for watching. Be sure to look for the second half of this video, which I'll try and get out the beginning of January. It'll be the upcoming board games that launch the second half of January. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.